Welcome to the Am I the Asshole podcast. Let's get into it. All right. Today we're going to be talking about cheating. All right. Let's get into it. Am I the asshole for cheating on my spouse? I, 31 female, have been married to my spouse, 32 male, for 6 years. We used to have an amazing relationship, but lately things have become distant and mundane. Damn, bitch got bored. We hardly spend quality time together, and intimacy is almost non-existent. We've tried counseling, date nights, and various other things, but nothing seems to reignite the spark. Recently, I started a new job, and a coworker, 28 male, and I hit it off right away. Oh, a little young buck. Okay. I mean, to her, We have so much in common and share similar interests that my spouse and I used to have. Over time, my feelings for my coworker grew stronger, and I found myself looking forward to going to work just to be around him. Whoo! Okay, guys, that's a big red flag right there. If your girl likes to go to work, she fucking somebody at work. I mean, whoo! Yeah, man, she boinking somebody at work, because if she enjoys going to work, bro, like nobody enjoys going to work. All right, nobody enjoys going to work. So if your girl enjoys going to work, man, you better break up with her now. I'm gonna be straight with you. I'm gonna keep a hundo P. If your girl likes going to work, I mean, you heard it here. This is from a girl, She loved that nigga so much, she was like, I can't wait to go to work. Oh my God. Pussy's wet just thinking about going to work. Shit. All right, one evening, my coworker and I ended up going out for drinks after work. The atmosphere was relaxed, and we both opened up about our lives. He admitted that he had feelings for me and confessed that I felt the same. She was like, I feel the same. Oh. In the heat of the moment, we ended up sharing a passionate kiss. I felt guilty immediately afterward, and I know what I did was wrong. But at the same time, I haven't felt this alive and desired in years. I'm torn between my commitment and my spouse. My commitment to my spouse and the new connection I've found with my coworker. Am I the asshole for cheating on my spouse, even though our relationship had become stagnant and I found a new connection that makes me feel truly happy again? The obvious is yes, you're an asshole because you have a husband. But I get it. They've tried a lot of things, because she even said, we tried date nights, counseling, they've tried a lot of things. But at that point, I think you should just have a conversation and, let your dude know, hey, look, it ain't working for me, and that I don't want to be in this anymore. You know what I mean? I get it, and she could have left the marriage wholesomely. She could have just been like, look, I don't want anything from you in the marriage or whatever. I mean, I get it. At the same time, it's a thing where, I guess she may look fondly on the good times. But yeah, man, that's just the biggest red flag to take from this is that she enjoyed going to work, because nobody likes going to work. You know what I mean? Like, you watching this right now, you don't enjoy going to work. I don't enjoy going to work. Nobody enjoys going to work. So the fact that she enjoyed going to work, that is a huge red flag. And my guys out there, if your girl enjoys going to work, kick her butt to the curb, bruh. If she's dying to come home, and then hey, you got you an okay one. You know what I mean? You might want to vet her in different ways, but yeah, that was the biggest red flag. But I mainly think it was a thing that, because 7 years is not that long of a time really to be married. They might have gotten married like really quick. It could have been a thing where, they'd known each other for 6 months to a year and then got married, or they got engaged in 6 months and then married a year. It could be that. And that's why a lot of times, I look at it like, if you're going to be with somebody, especially as a man, y'all need to be putting bitches on trial periods, if I'm being honest with you, man. Like a girl, date her, whatever the case may be, but let her know up front, like, hey, look, for the next 6 months, 8 months to a year, however you want to dictate that, this is a trial period for me. I want to see if this could actually be something, and if you could prove to me, if you could stick out the trial period, then yeah, I want to give you commitment, but if you can't stick out the trial period, I don't want commitment, because of dumb shit like this. You know what I mean? Like, your girl should never feel like the relationship is stagnant and mundane, like that in itself is an L, and a lot of times I think it is an L on the man side, because you should be doing things to keep it exciting, like, I get it, they tried date nights and stuff, but I mean, dude, you guys could have did a second honeymoon, you guys could have went on vacation, something like that, something just drastically different. I mean, even if it's like, going to Vegas, or if you guys are out on the East Coast, maybe take a cruise, just something vastly different, and I think that's what he wasn't doing. He wasn't changing things up and making it exciting for her, and I think that's what you guys need to start doing out there for your girl. Like, if it's a girl you want to keep, and you want to keep her long term, and you don't want her going nowhere, for one, keep your money up. You know what I mean? I understand that you can't, make time to, make all that money and spend time with her. And I understand that. But in the times that, you got a big bag, I'm not saying blow it on her, but I'm just saying, for all the time that you missed making your money, at least delegate some of that to spending time with your main chick, because if you don't, shit like this is going to happen, bro. You know what I mean? Shit like this is going to happen. And a lot of times it could be a thing where, say your girl's not working, that's even worse, because then you don't know. You know what I mean? Then you don't know. Like, if your girl doesn't like to be home, say she's not working and she doesn't like to be home, she wants to be out all the time, that's a red flag. You know what I mean? Because that means that the day it's mundane for her, it's boring. She wants something new, exciting, all that kind of stuff. That's the red flag right there. So if your girl ain't working and she want to be out all the time, red flag. I'd probably get rid of her immediately. If your girl works and she loves going to work, unless her job is like her fucking passion or something, nah, bro, it's an L. It's an L. Because shit like this gonna happen, bro. Oh, and it's bad. Okay, our next scenario. Am I the asshole for cheating on my spouse? So here's the deal. I've been married to my husband for several years now, and things have been going well. But recently, I started feeling a bit neglected and unappreciated in our relationship. We weren't spending much quality time together, and I was starting to feel disconnected. See, I was just saying that. Yes, spend your time, make your money, do your thing as a man, but take your girl to do some shit every once in a while, because then she's gonna get this dumb shit in her head. Oh, we feel disconnected and all this crap, unappreciated, neglected. She's gonna feel that crap. So you gotta put some time aside for her. Around this time, I met someone new through work. Damn. Woo. We hit it off immediately. We had long conversations, shared interests, and just genuinely enjoyed each other's company. Over time, these interactions evolved into emotional connection that I wasn't expecting. One evening, after a particularly heated argument with my husband, I found myself seeking comfort from my new friend. We were both vulnerable, and one thing led to another, resulting in us crossing the line and having sex. Damn it, she didn't even sugarcoat it, saying something like, oh, we were physically intimate, or no, she was like, we had sex. We did the sex, all right? I'm like, damn, the guilt hit me almost instantly. Damn, she had female post-nut clarity, huh? And I realized the gravity of what I had done. I love my spouse, and I never wanted to hurt them. I confessed my mistake to my new friend. who also felt remorseful about their role in the situation. Oh no! He found out that she was married. Oh, and see, that's the tough thing sometimes for guys. They'll meet a girl and they'll think, damn, this girl's great. She's got this, that going on, whatever. And then she hits you up like, hey, I'm just kind of feeling lonely. Just need somebody, da da da. And then, you smash and you're like, cha-ching. And then she's like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I have a husband. You're like, I'm telling you, man, I understand you guys out there, messing with, married women kind of seems exciting or whatever. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Some dudes out here will shoot a dude for a girl. Like, oh, especially their wife, man. Like some guys will shoot a motherfucker for a girl. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. And I understand in this situation, he didn't know, but at the same time, that's time for you to like lock it off or whatever. But if homeboy comes at you, you be like, hey, look, man, you need to get your girl. Cause to me, she was single. All right. She was single until, after I nutted. Now I'm torn between confessing to my spouse or keeping this secret to spare them the pain. I know I messed up and I deeply regret my actions, but I also can't help but wonder if my feelings of neglect and emotional distance in my marriage somewhat justified what I did. Am I the asshole for cheating on my spouse given the circumstances? You are an immense asshole. An immense asshole, because for women cheating, that is the ultimate betrayal. Like, and I'm sure, you guys have always heard, a man cheating, you guys can talk about it and kind of get through it. But even for her, the way that she described it, it was an emotional connection. I can guarantee you, while he was balls deep, just the nuts hanging out, she was sitting there screaming, oh my God, I love you. And she probably popped out of like, best I've ever gotten. I can, because her emotions are high. She's mad as fuck at her husband. It's such an emotional thing. And I guarantee you all that was going on through her head. She was probably, yelling it out, you know what I mean? And for him, he's just like, hitting that shit, and I bet that coochie was good too. I bet it was good, because remorseful women, whoo, they fuck. Cause they know what they about to do. A lot of times I truly think the girls kind of know, like, I'm about to regret this, but fuck it, I'm gonna have sex with this dude anyway. You know what I mean? Like, come on now, women ain't that stupid. They know how to make decisions. So I think the whole, when she was regretting it after, you can guarantee she was thinking about it, and she was just like, should I even do this? She was probably in the car at his house like, should I even do this? Is what I'm about to do like dumb? And then I'm sure she was just like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? And then she did it, and yeah. And as for the spouse, man, I mean, we didn't get too much information on him. You know what I mean? We really didn't get too much information on him. So I don't kind of know what he did wrong, aside from maybe keeping the relationship, boring. I mean, she did say, oh, I feel disconnected and all that other stuff. But, she didn't mention like the previous scenario. Oh, we tried date nights. We tried, you know what I mean? I feel like she didn't even try with her man, I really do. But at the same time, I do think it's on the man to also recognize, if things are going bad, maybe you should try some things. You know what I mean? You should kind of notice that in your girl a little bit. I feel you should kind of notice that in your girl, because yeah, shit like that can happen, man. That's the ultimate betrayal, dude. Whew. Shit. All right. We got our next scenario. Am I the asshole for cheating on my spouse? Hey, Reddit. I'm in a really tough spot right now, and I need some perspective. A few months ago, I started an affair with someone from work. Damn! damn. Okay, the other scenarios, they were meeting the guy, everything was nice. She been messing with this dude. Ooh, she been messing with this guy. Damn. My spouse and I had been going through a rough patch, and I felt neglected and unappreciated. Same old BS. This other person showed me the attention and made me feel desirable again. I know cheating is wrong, but I feel like I was suffocating in my marriage. Now that my spouse has found out about the despair, they're devastated and angry. Am I the asshole for seeking out attention outside of my marriage, or should I have handled things differently? Oh, damn, bro found out. No shit, he's devastated and angry. What guy wouldn't? Again, like I just said, a woman cheating is the most it's the worst betrayal a man could ever go through. Like a man could, lose his job. He could lose his car, he could lose his kids in his house, or, he could lose a bunch of things. But when his respect, his image, and, his overall just masculinity gets demasculated by his wife getting smacked up by another dude, it's like, it's wild. My thing is that she should have, if she was feeling unhappy before this affair started, and here's my perspective, since she wants a different perspective. If I were in front of her right now, I would have told her, look, what you need to do is, if you're feeling this way, divorce your husband. You know what I mean? Don't even, let's talk, let's do this. No, don't do any of that stuff, because women break up with men in their minds before they actually break up with them. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of guys sit there and they're like, what, huh? Where is this coming from all of a sudden? Why are you breaking up with me? I can change. What do you mean? You know what I mean? Women do this all the time. Every woman does this. Don't you sit right here watching thinking that you don't do that, because you do. All right. I don't care what woman you are. I don't care what your race is. I don't care where you came from. You do this in a relationship. When you are with a significant other and things aren't going well, you tally that shit up. And then the moment that last tally hits, you've broken up with that person in your mind, and you haven't done it, I guess you could say physically. And so when a woman gets to that point, which she got to that point, the fact that she was having an affair, yeah, we already know that she got to that point. So the fact that she got to that point, she should have just divorced him, left, you know what I mean? Look, I really don't want anything with you. At the same time, she should have just saved up some money, got an apartment, got her shit together, and just left. And then to go be with the other guy. Like, why would you go through all of that? What were you thinking? Like, this affair was going to save your marriage? You know what I mean? Or that you could just do this, and then it would make your guy realize, oh my God, I need to change. You know what I mean? Like, what was the outcome with this? What were you trying to get out of this? Because to me, it seemed like you had broken up with him already in your mind. You were done with him. And then you never broke up with him. You just moved on like you were single, And again, it's kind of an L from the guy's perspective, because he didn't pick up on this. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you know what I mean? Pick up on this shit. Like, gentlemen, if you vet your girl correctly, any little inconsistencies, any little things that bother her, whatever the case may be, even if something is bothering her, and you're like, oh babe, is something wrong? Is something bothering you? And you're like, what's going on? And she's just like, no, it's nothing, blah, blah, blah. Be on your toes. Be vigilant. You know what I mean? Because something is going on with that girl, and you need to, be there, because if you're not, she's going to find another penis to cuddle up to. If I'm being honest with you, she just is. And that's just the way it goes. And man, yeah. Yeah, like I said, my perspective on that, since she wanted another perspective, simply she should have just ended it. She should have just left. Then it wouldn't have been an affair. She could have just had a boyfriend, and it would have been all copacetic. And then for him, it wouldn't have felt like such a betrayal. It wouldn't have felt like, he got beat over the head, emotionally by his girl. I'm just saying. All right. We got our next cheating spouse or cheating on spouse situation. Hey, Reddit. So I messed up big time. I've been married to an amazing spouse for several years. Oh, he ain't that amazing. If you out here cheating on him, man. All right, well, we'll get into it, though. Let's see. All right, for several years, we've built a life together that I truly cherish. However, I recently found myself in a situation where I got emotionally and physically involved with somebody. Damn, she already took an L. She already betrayed homeboy. Yeah, no, this relationship's over. Done. Get rid of her. She belonged to the streets. I never intended for this to happen, but I can't deny that I betrayed my spouse's trust. Damn right. So my spouse is my best friend and has always supported me through thick and thin. They've sacrificed a lot for our relationship, and they deserve so much better than what I've done. I'm riddled with guilt and remorse, and I know that if they ever found out, it could devastate him. I'm torn between confessing and trying to salvage what's left of our marriage, or keeping this secret forever to spare them the pain. I can't change the past, but I can decide what to do moving forward. Am I the asshole for cheating on my spouse and grappling with how to handle the situation? Edit, thank you for all the brutally honest responses. I need to hear it, and I've realized that I need to face the consequences of my actions. Come clean to my spouse. It's going to be incredibly tough, but they deserve the truth. I appreciate your insights, even if they were hard to swallow. Yeah. And she fucked up big time. Big time, man. And okay, see, she's different from the previous relationships. The previous relationships, they were like, oh, we felt distant. Oh, we were fighting. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, they were in a tough patch, whatever the case may be. They were doing those kind of things, that made the relationship feel burdensome, on her side. It made her feel burdensome. And so I personally think that with those relationships, it was on the guy to notice those signs and kind of be able to, rectify or at least see the differences in their girl. But with this dude, he was making W's everywhere. He took care of I'm sure he took care of the kids. She didn't really mention kids or anything, but he took care of the household, had an amazing relationship. I'm sure they went on a lot of dates. The sex was probably good. Everything went well. So why would she want to cheat? Why would she want to go out and do something else and try to be this wild and free, young thing? Because you didn't need to. You had the golden relationship. Like, there's so many women out there right now that wanted the relationship that she has, and you're fucking that dude up. Because I'm sure for him in the marriage, he's like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? What happened? I pay for the mortgage. I take you out on dates. I take care of the kids, the car notes. I do everything. I go to work. I come home to you. I don't cheat. I stay away from these 304s. And it's like, this is what you're doing. Like, I give you this lifestyle and this is what you do with it. And so that I can understand, for him, that's like traumasome, because you gave a girl everything. And I can guarantee you there's so many women out there that are just like, where is he at? Because I would like him. Me, please. Next, I would like him. You know what I mean? Because women, around the world are looking for a dude like that, you know. They're like, dude, there's no guys out there like that anymore. A lot of these dudes are broke bums, and, you know, like I said in previous episodes, they don't want to pay for dates. And it's like, you know, men aren't really stepping up like they should be. And she got a guy that steps up, does what he's got to do, goes to work, takes care of the bills, you know, doing all this. I'm sure her job was probably elective. She probably worked a little, you know, danky job just so she wouldn't be freaking bored at home, you know. And I'm sure that's what he did. He was like, oh, babe, you know, you don't got to work, but if you want to continue working your job, you totally can. And, you know, for her to have that freedom to do that, you know, in the comfort of a relationship, in the comfort of a marriage, you know, she had everything going for her. It's like, what are you doing? You know, so, like, yeah, whew, man, that's tough. Ladies, comment down below what was going through her head. Why, in such a perfect relationship, did she give it all up? You know, you guys tell me, because I can guarantee you, some of you single ladies out there, you would kill for that kind of marriage. You know, a great guy, an awesome spouse, somebody that loves you, cares about you, take care of you, you know, doing everything right, man. Damn. That's a rare dude W for this show. Okay. All right. Scenario. I found myself in a complex and morally challenging situation, and I need some honest advice to determine if I'm in the wrong here. My spouse and I have been married for several years, and our relationship has had its ups and downs. Lately, I've been growing apart, and there's a growing emotional distance between us. I've tried communicating my concerns, but it feels like we're both stuck in a rut. Recently, I met someone at work who seems to understand me in ways my spouse doesn't anymore. We developed a strong connection, and I found myself drawn to this person emotionally. While we haven't crossed any physical boundaries, our conversation have become increasingly intimate. I can't deny that my feelings for this person have grown stronger, and I found myself questioning the state of my marriage. On one hand, I feel guilty for even allowing these emotions to develop, but on the other hand, I believe everyone deserves happiness, and maybe this new connection can provide that. Am I the asshole for considering cheating on my spouse, giving the emotional distance and potential for happiness with someone else, or should I prioritize trying to fix my marriage and end this budding connection before it goes any further? End it. End that fucking connection. Don't lose a marriage over some dude, and especially a dude you haven't even slept with. Because think about it like this. All right, let's think about it like this. I'm gonna take you into a good little scenario here, using this girl's situation. Say she's got her husband, you know, maybe kids, I don't know. They never really say that in there, but she's got her husband, somebody that loves her. They've been together for years, you know. On his end, you know, I'm sure maybe things are getting a little stale, but for the most part, you know, he loves her. And she comes to him and is like, oh, I want a divorce. They go through it. Then she goes through with the connection on this guy. He smashes and then leaves. He smashes and then ghosts. He doesn't talk to her ever again. Or, you know, he may smash and then he's just like, ooh, I'm not physically attracted to you the way I thought I was. You know, there's a lot of different ways that he could just ghost her and, you know, get rid of her or whatever the case may be. And so she would be alone after that. You know what I mean? She would be alone. She would not have anybody. She had a husband, but she fucked it up. You know, see, that's where a lot of you girls be fucking it up, man. You have a husband. I get things are going to get stale. I get things are going to be tough, you know, but you need to have conversation, you know, with your husbands and really talk to these motherfuckers. I get it. You know, maybe they work a lot. Maybe the disconnection comes from, you know, guys don't go on any dates. And, you know, women always advocate for, I want communication and I want this and I want that. But then you don't give it back. You know, you don't initiate that conversation. You don't initiate that like conversation and that communication, you know. And a lot of times guys, for us, we think, oh, everything is hunky-dory, copacetic. How are you, babe? How's it going? How was your day at work? Everything's good. You know, we may smash here and there, whatever the case may be. But you have to understand that, you know, he's thinking everything's great while she's over here having a romantic connection with this dude at work. And that sucks. So and then, like I said, you know, she hasn't even smashed this dude. So it's a thing where if she locks off her husband, homeboy smashes, and then he's just like, oh, that was great, but, you know, I got a girlfriend. Or, oh, you know, things are kind of getting serious with this other girl, or he just ghosts her right after. You're single. You're all by yourself. You got to start all over again. You know what I mean? Finding someone new, going through the dating thing, having this connection. Because, look, and I understand why ladies a lot of times are extremely picky because, you know, a lot of guys only want you to smash. And, you know, that's a lot of times what it is. And women have to kind of weed those dudes out. But see, I think married women don't look at it that way because they have achieved that. You know, they've achieved the whole wedding, getting married, you know, walking down the aisle dream. They've gotten that already, you know. And so they look at it like, well, now I want something more. I want something better. I want something, you know, different. And if my man is not going to be that, I'm going to go find a man that can be that. And a lot of women think, oh, because I got married once, I can do it again. Let me tell you, it's going to be even harder to get married a second time, because if I go out on a date with you and you have an ex-husband and you got all this baggage kind of going on, a lot of guys are going to disqualify women for that. They're not going to like that, you know, because you have an ex-husband, you know, and that could bring a lot of like drama unneeded. And, you know, it just, it could bring a lot of issues. And that's just something that a guy that's looking to date a girl just doesn't need, you know. And he may go on a date with you, he may have sex with you, you know, he may show interest, but that interest is gonna dwindle big time. And that kind of sucks. It really does. It kind of sucks. So ladies, if you got a man out there and you're married or whatever, you know, try to fix it as best you can. And a lot of times a woman trying to fix it, it usually is more successful than a man trying to fix it. Because like I said previously, you know, women break up with men in their head, you know. And so as the guy, we don't even know that you've broken up with us in your head already. We don't know that. We thinking, oh, everything's fine. We're just going through things. We're fixing things, you know. But in your head, you're like, I've been done with this dude, you know. So men don't really do that. And so for a woman trying to fix things, a lot of times it's more successful because the guy thinks everything's great. He's happy. He's fine. Everything's okay, you know, in his head. So yeah, ladies, try to fix things, you know. And if you can't fix things and it's just at the point where you're just very, 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 very unhappy, then yes, leave, you know. But don't stay in the relationship and try to find somebody else. Don't do that. That's ridiculous. That's all bad. Okay. All right, our last scenario. Okay, so here's the situation. I've been married to my spouse for several years, and we used to have a really strong connection. However, over the past year, things have changed. We've been arguing a lot, and it feels like we've drifted apart emotionally. Recently, I started a new job, and I met this coworker, who I really clicked with. We had so much in common and could talk for hours. As time went on, our connection grew stronger and we started spending more time together, both in and outside of work. I found myself looking forward to seeing them more than spending time with my husband. One night, after a particularly heated argument with my husband, I went out for drinks with my coworker, and we ended up getting closer than ever before. And one thing led to another, and we ended up sleeping together. I felt guilty afterward But at the same time, I couldn't deny the strong feelings I have for my coworker. Since then, I've continued to see my coworker secretly. Even though I'm still technically married, my spouse has no idea about the affair. And I'm torn between the excitement and happiness I feel when I'm with my coworker and the guilt I feel for betraying my spouse's trust. So am I the asshole for cheating on my spouse? Edit. I decided to tell my spouse and get the divorce, so we signed the papers, and I'm now dating my coworker. I am speechless. Oh. I mean, the edit kind of said everything, if I'm being honest with you. You know, she told her husband, hey, look, you know, homeboy over here has been smacking my cheeks. You just don't do it for me anymore. I want a divorce. You know, I mean, wow. Oh, damn. Oh, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I have no words. And the edit kind of gave us a conclusion to it, pretty much. If I'm being honest with you, like the edit just kind of gave it a conclusion because they were fighting. She didn't like it. Now, the fact that, okay, we know from the information, it said that I recently started a new job. Okay, that she was a stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home mother, whatever the case may be. He was paying for everything. And you want to know something? I can guarantee you, probably 99.99% of their fights were probably about her wanting to go out because she's bored of being home. She doesn't want to be home, whatever. He might have been the type of guy that had very strict boundaries, which a lot of women think are controlling or insecure and stuff like that. And honestly, he was right. He was right because he knew if I let this girl go out on her own, if I let her go out on her own and I let her do her thing and I let her just be this kind of, you know, free person that she wants to be, she gonna find somebody else and she gonna have sex with him. And what happened? That's exactly what happened. She got a job to disguise her going out, you know, and she was just like, okay, fine. If you don't want me going out, whatever. I won't do it. I'll just stay home, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm sure she devised up a plan, or she talked with her girls and was just like, oh, just why don't you get a job? Then you can meet guys on the job, blah, 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 blah. And so she was like, babe, why don't I get a job, you know, since I'm bored at home or whatever, and you won't let me go out. I respect that, and that's fine. But how about I get a job? You know, then I'll have a little money, and then, you know, you and I can go out together, blah, blah, blah. She probably masterminded the absolute shitney out of this cheating experience because he was paying for everything. She did not have a job with them getting married. She pretty much said that, you know, because she said she recently started a job. And so, you know, that does tell me that he must have had boundaries of like, look, I don't want you going out, you know, I don't want you doing this. So then what it was is, you know, she looked at it like, all right, well, how can I go out and meet people and, you know, not be up in the house all day? And I think that's what she devised up, and that's how she met the coworker. And then one thing led to another, and he was right. He was right. He's like, this is why I wanted your dumb ass in the house all day, because I knew the moment that you get out there and you experience some dudes, you're gonna smash one, you know. And I get it, you know, they may have had a heated argument or whatever, but I guarantee you the argument was because she was wanting to go out, you know, to go hang out with that coworker and whatnot. I guarantee you she was like, oh, you know, I'm going out with a girlfriend, you know, I'm going to go with a girlfriend and go see her and all that kind of stuff. But she was actually going out to go see him, you know, or saying it was a female coworker. You know, I can guarantee you she was lying throughout this whole thing. I can guarantee you 100% she was lying through this whole thing. And again, it was a thing where she did break up with him in her mind, because I can guarantee you the moment that they started hanging out outside of work, that's when it was over. You know, I can guarantee she was like, for one, she was excited to go to work. Red flag 1 right there. She's excited to go to work, and I'm sure he thinks like, oh, she's excited to go to work because, she hasn't worked. So maybe she's just excited to work, and homeboy just wasn't even looking at it. Wasn't even looking at the red flag. 2, she's going out even though you say, no, I don't want you going out, and like I said, I guarantee you that's what the arguments were about. I don't want you going out because I know if you go out, you're going to meet other dudes. And if you meet other dudes, then you're going to do this fuckery that she just did. I mean, I'm just calling it out as I see it. I mean, that's what this story is telling me, so yeah, man. Yeah, that's wild. That's going to end this episode. That was a wild episode. You women out there are crazy. Y'all crazy wavy bacon because, whew, man, no matter if you got a shitty husband or a good husband, y'all be cheating. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up the episode. Thank you guys for watching so much. If you guys don't have time for full podcasts and you want bite-sized episodes, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Go ahead and follow our Patreon. Go ahead and send me a message there with your Am I the Asshole, and we might feature it on on an episode. And you get exclusive episodes on Patreon as well. Love you guys, and peace.